This is task number 49, applying a modified Robert Jones bandage. I have all of my materials here. I have some cast padding, some cotton balls, a little bit of tape for my stirrups, and some gauze and vet wrap. We'll go ahead and get this open. This is a good bandage for wounds. It's good as a compression bandage also if we had recently removed a tumor and we needed to apply some pressure to it. This guy does not actually have anything wrong with his leg, but he's going to be a model for us. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some cotton pads between his toes. I know, that feels funny, huh? And we're going to leave his middle two toenails exposed. You're doing so great. Then I'm going to take my tape and I want about 5 inches hanging off of it. And we'll straighten his leg out once we're closer to wrapping it. I'll put one on the medial side as well. And this is the part I actually want to adhere to the hair. I'll get my tongue depressor in there and then we'll straighten this out a bit. Okay, bud. Is that okay with you? And I'll actually move that down just a little bit because we need a little more hanging off the end of his foot. And I'll put my toe pads back in there too because they're wanting to come with my tape. There we go. Keep that nice and straight. So if we were using this as a compression bandage, I would use a lot of cast padding. I'd probably do 4 or 5 layers worth, but since we're just doing a modified version, I don't need it to be quite that tight. I'll go ahead and put these back in there. Between your tiny little tootsies. And this is my first time doing one of these bandages, so bear with me. I know, you're doing great. It's weird getting all that cotton in there. Okay, mainly just want to keep his little foot straight, which he doesn't want us to do. So I'm going to take my cast padding and start at the distal end of his foot. And again, I'm just going to leave the toenails exposed. And then I'm going to come around, keep this nice and straight. I'm going to wrap around, tighten, make sure I don't have any wrinkles in my gauze. Come around, tighten, keep working my way proximal. Keep all those wrinkles out. You're doing great, buddy. Tighten every half turn or so. I'm going to go all the way up to his elbow and then come back down. Down a little bit. So once I have a nice thick layer of cast padding, I'll take my brown roll gauze and make a conforming bandage of that. You're doing so good, buddy. And we're going to go just proximal to the elbow with our cast padding so that the vet wrap doesn't cause any pressure sores in that area. Still got our foot. I know, that feels funny. Hold on, bud. We'll just come right up over your elbow before we go back down. Go. So now I'm going to start coming back to the distal end. Tighten every half turn. And I can see that's curving a little bit, so I want to make sure this is nice and tight so that it's straight. Okay, that feels feels nice and padded. So now I'm going to come back with my roll gauze. Again, start at the distal end of the limb. I want it to come pretty far down and include the toes. And this is going to kind of cinch down our padding a little bit. I'm trying to avoid any wrinkles in there so we're not irritating the skin or causing any kind of bandage disease. Also going to come back down to the proximal end of, or distal end of the foot once I get up past the elbow, just like I did with my calf padding. A little tighter here. Tighten this up. Okay, buddy. A little too tight. There we go. I know you're getting bored, huh, bud? Feeling so good, friends. Okay. Grab some bandage scissors. Suppose we don't have any. That's okay. This stuff is pretty easy to rinse. So now that I have my padding and my conforming layer of bandage, I can go ahead and pull my stirrups back up. Probably remove this little bit I have sticking out. So we're going to twist this around so that it actually sticks to the gauze. Definitely going to need a lot more practice with this, but it's really sticking in there. Well, I'll throw an extra piece on, but I'm going to turn this around, go on the medial aspect, and that's sticking up pretty well. Go ahead and put our toe pads back in. Those just don't want to stay in. Okay, I'm going to follow up with our vet wrap, and that'll be our last layer. So this stuff can actually tighten a little bit on its own. I'm not going to go too tight with this as I did with my gauze and my cast padding. So once this is on, if we were going to leave it on, we would want to instruct the owner to cover the bandage with a plastic bag or a little booty that is specifically manufactured for this. Don't want to leave it on all the time because that could lead to bandage disease also. We want it to stay nice and dry. And we're going to be checking the temperature of these two toes that have been exposed for if they feel cool to the touch or if they appear swollen. That's a good sign that our bandage is too tight, and we certainly don't want that to happen. Good boy. We also want the owner to watch out for any foul odors, any discharge that is leaking out from the bandage. If there was a wound under there, we would have used a non-adherent pad to dress the wound before placing this. And it would be up to the doctor if they wanted to put any honey on there or any silver sulfadiazine, anything like that. Sometimes if they want to aid in debridement of the wound, they would actually just do a dry layer. We're almost done, kid. Okay, so we've got a nice thick bandage. Come up around his elbow. Oh, someone found me some bandage scissors. Thank you so much. I'm going to just come right up here. And this elbow is the part that's most prone to bandage disease and ulceration, so I put a lot of good cast padding under there. You're doing great, bud. Get all those wrinkles out of there if we can. And I'll just leave it a little bit exposed. Maybe we'll do one more piece of that wrap around there. Just to prevent any slipping. We'll use the rest. That works too. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. We've got, it's not pretty, but we have all the layers that we need. It's nice and straight. We've got lots of padding, so that if we did have something we need to stabilize in here, this would be sufficient. And that's how we do a modified Robert Jones bandage.